Yes, it happened again. Another story of some mentally ill kids, two more mentally ill little girls. It's just crazy how you could take one person who might be a bit deranged and you throw another person into the mix, and just like that, something bad happens. Like mob mentality only takes two people. Isn't it weird how humans are like that? Just one other person to embolden you, and you can do the most psychotic of things. So this is such a bonding experience, is the tagline to this article. Two teens accused of trying to ace a fellow high school student will remain in custody after they were recorded in a police car chatting about the experience. Isabella Valdez, 15, and Lois Lippert, 15, were in the patrol car together and were recorded by the car's camera, laughing about their arrest in the car on camera. Valdez, laughing, was recorded as saying on the way to jail, "I was going to do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but couldn't find anything." She also said, "Why are you touching me with your butt? This is such a bonding experience." And Lippert responded, "I know, I love it." She also said, "I thought I was going to get sent to the expletive psych ward. That's why I was so excited about everything." Yes, going to the psych ward is exciting, isn't it? Because I'm a mentally ill teenage girl. Good God, do they need Space King? Well, thankfully, the judge was incredibly based, who said that they were sociopathic and that they were a danger to the community. So it's just a quick little watch of some of this here.
15-year-old Isabel Valdez and 14-year-old Lois Lippert laugh and smile as if they're headed to a party, but in reality, they're on their way to jail.
I was gonna do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything.
Prosecutors played this video to show the judge they're a danger to the community.
Impress upon the court the callous nature, the sociopathic attitude that both young ladies exhibited.
Investigators say Valdez recruited Lippert to help her kill the victim because he resembled the Sandy Hook school shooter.
Deranged beyond reason, isn't it? I mean, to think that these two teenage girls were going to kill a boy, not a man, but a boy, because they had been so brainwashed to think that all men were dangerous, that they were going to do that. It would be very easy to believe that, wouldn't it? I mean, that was what I assumed right off the bat. Here's the problem. The truth is far worse than sexism.
It's something Valdez obsessed over.
200 photographs of the named victim.
According to police, the suspects planned to push the victim into the school bathroom at Lake Brantley High, slit his throat, and drink his blood. They even brought the knife to school.
The concept of murdering another person to resurrect a school shooter is unfathomable.
Unfathomable indeed. They were going, this isn't sexism. This isn't men are bad, men are dangerous. This is just insanity. Or at least, partial insanity. Like, the thing is it insanity? Like, I don't know, honestly. I mean, one said, Lippert, the skinny one, I think, she said, "I don't feel guilty for my actions." The other one said, "I feel bad for my mama. That's the only person I feel bad for. And you, I feel bad for your mama too," which I guess is just an insult. I never give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to things like insanity, because everyone else does. And I feel like too many people are taking advantage of this insanity to just claim that they are insane. I don't know. I mean, insane people exist, yes, but you can't just have insane people popping up everywhere, and they do all these things and no one knows it happened, really? Like, no one saw it coming. No one. And their parents their parents are asking the judge to release their daughter, saying that they could watch her. Her father told the court that their computer is locked down and they can't access email or Facebook. Well, if the computer's locked down, they shouldn't have any access to anything. Why would you specify that? And also, phone? While the mother said, "I spoke to a doctor's office to get her counseling." Yes, well, I understand the parents, they want to protect their daughter and they want to deny the reality of what's happened, but what's just happened is possibly insane, but it's certainly deranged. And Lippert and her parents here, that she was just brought on by this other one. I think it was the other one that was obsessed with the Sandy Hook shooter and wanted to resurrect him. by slaughtering a lookalike and drinking his blood. I mean, what the hell? Like, where do you even come up with that? Like, what deranged thing told them to do that? Because we have the Slenderman stabbing. Remember that from 11 years ago? The Slenderman stabbing, which it felt so detached from reality at the time, and now it's like weirdly more concrete for me 11 years later. The two 12-year-old girls brought their friend out into the woods and stabbed them 19 times. If not for a cyclist who happened to... Oh, right, they also lied and told them that they were going to get help for them after stabbing them 19 times, but they didn't go get help. Instead, this person, this child, after being stabbed 19 times, dragged themselves near a cycling path, and a cyclist managed to get them to a hospital after 6 hours in the ICU. I mean, in surgery. They managed to somehow survive despite all of the grievous wounds they had. And these people just get to go to a psych ward. One of them broke out recently, didn't she? She went on some sort of escapade, and she was exactly what you expect to see on TikTok, and these pink-haired crash-out girls with their septum piercing and their full-body tattoos. Like, it was exactly, like, she is exactly what you see on TikTok, exactly what you see on Instagram and YouTube and Twitch, all of these completely deranged women. This girl broke out of her insane asylum that she was allowed to live in some sort of peace after stabbing someone 19 times in the attempt to commit some sort of satanic ritual to appease Slenderman. And she broke out, and then she's drifting around with... I can't remember who the person was that they were with, some like a non-binary or something. And, like, the internet is a devastating force on some of these people. It's not to say that they are all like this, and it's not to say that they're all women either, or girls, I suppose. There is certainly a part to play by the internet, and this particular thing, the Slenderman stabbing, that caused a lot of discussion about the moral panic of the internet and its effect on children. Apparently that led to nothing, though, because here we are 11 years later with the exact same problem of just crazy little girls, or at least the ones who think they're crazy anyway, because who knows? Who knows if they're crazy? Who knows if they're crazy, or if they have just been convinced to believe in astrology and tarot cards and crap like that from the time they're born? I mean, that's always been like a girl thing, isn't it? And even now, it's a girl thing. It's a girl thing to buy a statue of a Roman goddess and take red fingernail paint and draw bloody tears coming out of their eyes. And oh, that's just what girls do. Is it? Is that just what girls do? I don't know, man. I mean, my sister did it, and she ended up normal, but other girls seem to do these things, and then they try to commit satanic rituals involving murder. So I don't know. How do you tell? But the boys have their own problem. There's the story of Dissaid Reed, who was shot in July, and he died a few days later in the hospital. He was 13. He was 13, and he had nothing to do with anything, apparently. There was 2 other teenagers that were 14 with guns, one in the gang Young Stupid Reckless, and the other in the gang Sex Money Murder. 14-year-olds with guns, in gangs, with those names, shooting at each other. And they accidentally aced a 13-year-old boy. I mean, that's not insanity, but it's certainly something. Well, there was another situation of a Ja'Cory Redding, 15, had a gun at school. Someone bumped into him, a 16-year-old bumped into him in school, and they didn't apologize. So, that's that. Blaka blaka, they're dead. Another recent story this year, I think. February 20th. Gwinnett Juvenile threatened woman on Roblox, posted her address, and started a kill list. I mentioned all these in a previous video. Still not sure how this kid got this woman's address. Again, if it was if it was the reverse situation, you'd be thinking about some grooming. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it's still very bizarre. And of course, he's taken to a hospital for a mental health evaluation. But the thing is, I don't think that this is insanity. I really don't. I do not think these cases are insanity. I think, not entirely anyway, I think that children, they just get a warped view of the world, because we are so socially detached these days. I should be insane, realistically speaking. I don't have much of a relationship with my parents. I was pretty spoiled as a kid, but I wasn't really part of their lives or whatever. They both worked. They both drove 45 minutes to and from their work every day. I didn't spend a lot of time with them. I was kind of raised by the internet. I still have a Call of Duty CD, the original Call of Duty CD that I played on the computer when I was like 10. God knows what I saw in there. I don't remember most of it. I remember some of it. I was raised by Call of Duty and Unreal Tournament and stuff like that. And on the other hand, I was raised by MMOs, EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, Final Fantasy XI, things that involved social interaction. Now, this is before the era of World of Warcraft MMOs, which are basically single-player games, these new theme park MMOs. But back then, you actually had to interact with people. In games like EverQuest, you had to interact with people. You had to join groups, and I mean, like, generally speaking, you could solo to some extent, but you had to join groups, you had to be with people, you had to talk to them, and then the next day, you were the same person. Your characters had the same names, unless you deleted them entirely, which would be a massive waste of time, but you kept the same character, right, in an MMO, and you didn't, like, change server or anything, so you just persisted in that world, kind of like in real life. As sort of pathetic as it is to say it, that's closer to real life than real life is now. Now people are so detached from everyone else, even in neighborhoods, you don't know the names of your neighbors. You don't know anybody. Like, you remember these movies made in like the 70s, 80s, 90s or whatever, and they'll show these panning shots of neighborhoods where people are doing cookouts, kids playing in the streets, people walking their dogs. Oh, no, not anymore. No, that doesn't happen anymore. No one does anything in neighborhoods anymore. They stay in their house, and you treat everyone around you as an enemy nation who may attack you if you're not careful. And I legitimately think, this is something I've actually thought a lot about, I think that playing MMOs as a kid normalized me to how a functioning society works, to how you treat other people. You don't just ninja loot the stuff from them because they remember that. You don't insult them because they remember that. You don't treat people like crap. You don't do bad things because they remember that. It's pathetic to say. I know exactly how it sounds. This is the most pathetic thing I think I've ever admitted to. But I have never hurt anyone besides maybe calling them a mean word on the internet. And I could probably attribute a great deal of that to playing EverQuest as a child. I really can. And Dark Age of Camelot and Final Fantasy XI too. Any game like that back then. On the other hand, I played Call of Duty and stuff, to counterbalance that. So, like I said, I should have grown up to be totally deranged. I was raised by the internet. And I think that video games actually kept me normal. I have no idea what these kids are doing besides Roblox, which is definitely not normal. But yeah, you have stories like these anti-ice kids walking around. They come out of high school and they're anti-ice brigades. You've got like roving packs of school children. And this particular thumbnail here I used for one of my previous videos. This guy in a MAGA hat was fighting all these kids. There's like a pack of wolves just roving around fighting people. And these two girls, they have a shirt on. Well, the one has a shirt on that says "Choose kindness always." The other high school girl has a shirt on that says "Kill your local PDF file." Except the child doesn't have to censor it. The child wearing the shirt that says that does not have to censor it, even though it's a literal call to violence and I'm sure is illegal to wear or say for that matter. And this is the state we're in. This isn't insanity. This is just what kids have been trained to learn. Like, they have been brought up on this. They have been taught this. It's not because they're crazy. It's because we've taught them, and I'm, of course, not taking blame when I say we, but society has taught them to be like this. This is their normal. They're not crazy. This is their normal. And that is crazy. And it is our fault. Again, I'm not taking blame for that. It's everyone else's fault except for mine. Anyway, thank you for listening to me rant. If you enjoyed the video, please do the YouTube things.